Very good evening to all the panelists and the guests who are attending this event. My name is Anmol Loya. I'm a chartered accountant based out of Bangalore, and I work as a business intelligence developer. Now, I get a lot of requests with respect to financial statements. There are a lot of investors who get a lot of financial statements from the companies they've invested in, and it's very difficult for them to sometimes analyze it. Sometimes the companies give them scanned copies or images of their financial statements. Bankers have approached me that they are not able to perform credit analytics very quickly because of the same reason that the financial statements are not in proper format. They are probably scanned images, etc., etc. So I also, do a lot of MIS automations where I have required different financial statement formats to be converted into a standard format using rule-based approach. But that's a thing of past, right? Now, I would like to welcome you to how the future of analytics looks like, right? So today, what we are going to do is we are going to convert some unstructured data to structured data, right? How is this going to work? Now, I'm going to present an image of a financial statement. Look at this. These are images. This was a balance sheet. This is an income statement. And we have all seen such kind of financial statements in front of us, and we have to manually work on it and create financial statements in a standard format to process it further. Let's automate this process such that if we have financial statements which are scanned images of six different companies also, we can come to something like this which I'm presenting right now. This is the structured format of the data, right? Now, what is the process which I'm going to follow for this? Let's understand. So how am I going to do it? First, we are going to extract the data from the scanned PDF financials or scanned images of financials using optical character recognition. Next, I have integrated OpenAI and DeepSeek APIs into Python, right? Once the data is extracted by Python, it calls OpenAI API or DeepSeek API, and then the financial statements are created by the AI itself. So till here, let us complete the process and then we'll move forward into understanding further about it, right? By the way, this is the Python which I've generated. I'm not moving up because the API keys are on top, but this is a prompt which I've given in the Python code and so on and so forth. We are going to run this code. So now let me tell you the structure of how this code is going to be run. I have input files F limited. This is the financial statement, which is a scanned PDF of F limited. Okay. And I have output folder here where currently we don't have anything, right? If I click on this run.exe, which is created using Python, I'll just, whatever files are there in the input, all of them get extracted, converted into financial statements, and exported in an Excel format in the output folder. So let's have a look. I'm going to click on run.exe. And now let it work. F limited has two pages. It's extracted the text. Now it's calling the ChatGPT API. Once it calls the ChatGPT API, we have to wait for a couple of minutes. The APIs can be a little slow sometimes. Probably a minute more. Till it is extracting, I will explain you what API is. Okay. Yeah, it is being extracted now. So in the output folder, now you see I have a Excel file which is generated, F limited, right? Now let's get inside this Excel and just see quickly what is generated. Now every time I get a different output at times because I have the balance sheet, I have the P&L, and I have the cash flow statement, right? Just have a look at, I have purposely kept the numbers in a text format here because it just gets extracted better. The zeros are handled better with that manner. So this is the profit and loss statement which is extracted. Let's close this. Right. Now, similarly, what I've done is I have created one folder which has all the files, basically all the scanned financials, right? These I have six scanned financials which I had here. And what I've done is all of them have been export it into Excel earlier so that we don't waste time in the today because we have limited time. So all of this is here, right here, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Power Query. Just give me a second. Okay. Now this is Power BI's backend, Power Query. Okay. What I have done here is I have again integrated the API of DeepSeek here using mQuery in the advanced editor. I'm again not going to open it because of the API key issues. Now I've imported A limited and B limited's financials here. I've just imported a part of it, not the entire thing, so that we can do it faster. Now, if you see the B Limited's financials, we have just the income statement here. We have total sales here, okay, and then cost of sales, gross margin, etc., etc. I have also created a standardized P&L for myself here in the standard list. In the standard list, we have revenue, whereas in B Limited, if you saw, let me just move it up. Okay, in B Limited we have sales, whereas standard list is revenue. Under a normal scenario, we would have had to manually map the total sales with the revenue, right? Or we would have created a rule. But how many rules will you create, right? So what you can do here is I can map the standard list right here in this financial statements of B Limited. Let's see how. I'll go to add column. I'll invoke a custom function and let's name it as mapping. And the function is mapped to standard financial statements, which is right here. If you see, and map name, that is what is the column name which you want to map with the standard financial statements, is account title, which is right. Once I press OK, if you have a look at what has happened, total sales has been mapped with the revenue of the standard list. This is the standard list. One second. Then cost of sales. If I go to the standard list, there is nothing cost of sales here. So when something cannot be mapped, I have specifically called it out that it is unmapped, right? And then gross margin has been mapped as gross profit, operating cost as operating expenses, interest and taxes has been unmapped because it is not a part of the same line item in my standard list, and final profit net income. So if you realize my manual effort is there, but it is significantly reducing. Now, how much manual effort is reducing? You cannot define a percentage because it depends on the kind of financial statements, right? And then once you do all of these things, right, you can get an income
Anmolji,
statement.
last 2 minutes.
Sure. Once you do the entire thing, you can have a standard set of income statement items and you can import data from A Limited, B Limited, C Limited, and so on and so forth. This is just an extract of the data. That's it, right? So this is how this entire process works. Let me go ahead and complete this. Hold on. So we have seen the presentation till here where the Python extracts the financial statements and gives an Excel. And then we move and load the data into Power Query in Power BI. And then the Power BI has the ability to reclassify the financial statements based on a standard FS. And that is powered by AI or the API integration into Power BI. Now, why is it useful, right? Of course, MIS automation being one of the most primary reasons, a part of it was used for that. You want to make projections or you want to do credit analysis and much more, right? Just very quickly, I also want to show you how the API keys are generated. This is the OpenAI platform. I have generated an API called as Anmol. In the DeepSeek platform, I have generated again API keys for Power BI and Python. And the usage also can be tracked here. I'm not getting into the usage right now because all the cost related to it, everything is going to be there. And just quickly, one interesting thing here, okay? So I have done some sentiment analysis. So whenever there's a product review, let's say if on Amazon there is a product review, like let's say somebody says I love this product, unless and until I read it, I don't know whether it is positive or negative. Of course, they will have 5 ratings, 1 rating, etc. But just on the basis of text, if you want to find out whether the sentiment is positive or negative, I have again done this using DeepSeek, right? I love this product. It's a positive sentiment. I have also gone ahead and written something peculiar like the service was terrible, and being sarcastic, I wrote, "Thank you so much for wasting my money." So I was seeing whether AI can read it. So it read it right and gave me negative. If it was rule based that if somebody writes thank you, you should give positive, that's not happening here, right? So it's a very interesting time we are in currently. AI currently, of course, the API works a little slowly right now, and um, but I think the future belongs to AI, and the analytics part of it is very exciting for me at least. And that's it from my end. And over to you, the jury.